Now we will see formatting tags. So formatting tags are basically to format our content. To understand this, let's see one example here. So in Microsoft Word, you can generate some paragraph, and inside this paragraph, when you want to highlight some text, you will choose bold, right? And sometimes you choose italic, right? So there is some styles or the formats you are applying. And also, if you know, when we are writing some numbers like ninth street, right? TH is the superscript, right? TH is the superscript. You can see here, it applies the superscript. When you remove this, it shows the default content. Or similarly, you have the H2O, and 2, you want to show it as a subscript, you show it like this. So similarly, how can we update or how can we create this kind of content in HTML, we will see. So formatting tags, we have different elements like bold, italic, small, mark, delete, insert, subscript, and superscript. So we will create one example and we will see how it works. Okay. So let me create a page again. Click on new, formats.html, and create a template. I'll say formatting tags. Now you can, if you want to hide this one, you can simply click on Explorer. Now it will show the full page for writing the code. Now I'll just create one h1 tag saying below, or here is the example for bold styles. Okay, so this bold, or you can say maybe update this into paragraph, p, enter, lorem, and click on view, word wrap, and right click, and you can say format document. Now we have the content. Now let's say how it looks like before applying the changes. Okay, so this is a simple paragraph. Okay, now I want to apply bold for this, maybe some total, right? Some for this TOTAM, I want to apply bold. So you can use B element, B or less than B, and add some content inside B tag. So now you can see totem is, now it will display in the bold style like this. So maybe if you want to write some italic style, I'll choose next paragraph, P, enter. This is italic content. Okay, so italic style inside paragraph, you want to apply it, the italic style, you can use I element. You can use I element, open tag and close tag. So you can see now the content is displayed in italic. So the next one is small. So if you know, we just generated some paragraph, right? P, lorem. So we have the content displayed here. We format document. So we have the second paragraph, but I want to display the paragraph little bit smaller. Okay, without applying any styles, I want to display this paragraph little bit smaller. So inside this paragraph, you can simply use small as the element. So take this out, open element and close element. So now you can see the font size between the first paragraph and the second paragraph is updated. That is a that is a concept of small element. Next we will use mark. So let's say I have another paragraph P, and again use the lorem, right click, format document. So now we have three paragraphs, para 1, para 2, para 3, some content. Okay, so let's suppose I want to highlight from here to here. Let's see how we can use the mark element. So just type mark, M-A-R-K, mark, and you write the content, or you can close this at the exclamation. Okay, so now right click, show live preview. You can see this is how the content is getting highlighted. This is how the content is getting highlighted. By default, it will apply yellow color. Later, we will see how to update the styles. Okay, so this is the concept of mark. Then we have delete. Okay, so maybe sometimes we know that there are some offers, right? We are now offering 35% discount for new year in 2022. So if you see, we are now offering a 35% discount for new year in 2022. So if some company is displaying the banner like this, and we can see how it looks like. So this is the heading. So it says that we are now offering 35% discount for new year 2022, but I want to delete this and show like 40% or 38% or write some number. So what I'll do, I'll add this inside delete element. I'll add this inside delete element, and then I will use 40% here. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, so you can see that we are now offering, instead of 35, it is getting deleted, right? It is showing like, okay, it is like a deleted. Now we are giving new discount, that is 40%. So whenever you want to show some deleted content for a customers, we will be using del as the element. So now similarly, we have insert element. Okay, so instead of del, I'll copy this element, and instead of del, I'll use ins. Okay, and now let's see. So now it is highlighting, right? So maybe you want to for better understanding, we should keep this as delete, and 40% is a new discount which I want to highlight, ins. So insert the 40% value content inside ins element. Okay, save this. Okay, now it says we are now offering 35% is deleted and inserted is 40. So the underline says that this is a newly inserted content. And the next one is we are going to see the superscript. So whenever I'm writing some street names, right, like paragraph, I live in 9th Street, right? So when you write the content like this, it will not show th on the top. It shows the default structure 9th. Th is not displaying on the top. So th should be the superscript. So what we need to do, sup is the element that we need to use. Inside superscript element, we will write th. Okay, so you can see it is automatically updating. Likewise, whenever you use some formulas like maybe paragraph, H2O is the formula for water. Okay, 2 is the subscript. So what I'll use, sub, take out this close element and place it after 2. So 2 should be coming bottom. You see now how it is showing H2O is the formula for water. Okay, so these are the formatting elements. Next, we will see comments. So what are comments? Comments are not displayed in the browser. we use comments for documentation purpose. So right now I have written this content, right? Let's say I'm writing, okay, this page is created by someone. Maybe I'll write paragraph. This page is created by Tom. So when I write this and if I see this content, it is showing at the page, but I don't want to display this to the customer or the user. So what I'll do, I'll write this content inside a comment. Comment you can use like this, okay? Less than tag like this, less than tag exclamation hyphen hyphen, and this is a close. So inside this you can write your comment. This page is created by Tom, something like this. So you see now the content is not displayed. Likewise, you can use n number of comments. Here, if I don't want to display this, right now you are using both, right? Two headings you are using, but instead of this, I only want to use this one, line number 31. But line number 30, I don't want to display. So you can simply use the shortcut key to comment this. So go to your keyboard and use command slash. So I'll show that here. Okay, so command, or if you are using Windows, it is control and slash. Just beside the shift key you will see slash. Okay, so now you can see it is invisible code. It shows in the green color, which means those are comments. Okay, and right click, show again. So now we are only seeing one H2. So comments are generally for documentation purpose. Like let's say I want to use one more thing. This page is last updated on December 6th, something like this, right? So December 6, 2021. So you can write multiple comments and that comments will not be visible to the customer or user. Okay, so that is the purpose of comments. Next, we have quotation elements. So quotation elements, we have multiple quotation elements. Some of the useful quotations we will see: abbreviation, address, block quote, and Q. So generally, if we have seen one example, right? The beginning, we'll use the same thing. Quote elements dot html, create a page. I'll quote elements. All right, so let's say I am writing some paragraph like P. I use Windows operating system, right? OS. What is OS? OS is a operating system. OS is a shortcut key for operating system. I want to show this short, abbreviation in a web page. So what we will be using, we are using ABBR as a element, abbreviation element. So inside abbreviation element, you give your shortcut, that is OS, and then inside start element you use title as the attribute. OS stands for operating system. OS stands for operating system. And now see this example. I use Windows OS. OS, when you hover on it, it says OS stands for operating system. And you can see here it is giving some dotted lines, which indicates that we have given explanation to that abbreviation. Okay, so that is the use requirement there. And let's use another quote element, that is address. Okay, so address, basically when you want to display your company address, you are going to use this address element or your contact details. Okay, so Address element is mostly used inside a footer element. So we will understand footer as an element. So footer element is used to display some copyright, some address, etc. So let's see this example here. You have a website, and inside website, maybe we'll go here. I'm just using some random website and scroll down. You see, they have the links, they have the details, right? And they have some copyrights, but this website they did not give some address, but we are talking about footer. So whenever you want to display some address or copyrights, we use footer as the element. So I'm using now footer element. So inside footer, I'll use address as the element. Okay, so inside footer element, I'm going to use address as another element. So address element, if I want to write some street, right, 1101 First Street, then use the break element, then say city name, California, break element, California, USA, right? So now let's see how it looks like. You can see it is displaying with the italic style as a default formats with the address. Okay, maybe you may have a question how when you are saying footer is footer should be displayed at the bottom. Yes, but by default your content is not heavy, that when you keep writing your content it will push the footer element to the bottom. Say for example, above the footer I'm using paragraph tag and just type lorem, and you can see live preview and format the document. Okay, and go here, and again I'll generate one more paragraph. So as you keep writing your content in a page, the footer will be displayed always at the bottom. Or you can use some styles. Right now we are not in a position to understand styles, but I'll explain you in 1 minute. So styles basically, you can place your content wherever you like. So I'll use the style element, and inside style element I want to place footer at the bottom. So simply type footer element I want to place at the bottom. So these are properties in styles. So bottom I want to display at the bottom. Position is fixed. So you can see now the footer element is displaying at the bottom. So we can apply more styles to have the background color, etc., that we will see in future, but I'm just trying to explain right now to use address element. Okay, next we have block quote. Okay, so block quote is very simple. So let's say I use a paragraph, again I generate lorem. Okay, so this I want to display it as a quote. Okay, so whenever there is a quote you press tab. Okay, so that means if I use block quote as the element, take this out and place before the close paragraph. Now this content is available inside the block quote element. Then what happens, let's see. Okay, you can see a quote element whenever you want to display by some margin, right? You can see there is a margin between this and this, then you are going to use block quote, and it's basically a quotation you can consider. And maybe if you want to mention again this in a double quotes, you can use again q element, q less than q here. So you can see now there is a double quotes added to our quote element. All right, so now we have understand what is the quote elements like block quote, address element, queue element, and abbreviation element. Next, we will see HTML links. Okay, uh, in the beginning of this session, we have understand anchor tag. Okay, but I'll explain one more time here. HTML links are nothing but hyperlinks. When you navigate, when you want to navigate from one page to another page, we will use these anchor tags, a tag. Okay, so here I'll close this. Right now you can see here in my folder, in my demo site folder, I have quote elements as a page. So I have created quote elements. Maybe here I'll create a page called footer page.html, and here I'll use this content. This is the footer page, or maybe you can say h1 footer page content. So what I want to do, whenever I click on a link, maybe I'll use here a tag footer page. Whenever I click on this footer page link, I want to go to the footer page. Okay, the footer page is this one, footer page.html. So here I'll say footer page.html. So a tag href footer page.href is the attribute. Now right click on live preview. Okay, now you can see there is a link. So once you click on this link, it will take you to the footer page. Now there might be a concept like let's see here, I'll create a folder called articles. I create a folder called articles. So inside demo site I have multiple pages. Inside demo site I have multiple pages. I'll go to the formats page, or maybe I'll create a new page like home.html. So this is home page, h1, this is home page, and now I use anchor tag article 1. So whenever I click on article 1, I want to open this page, but right now inside article folder there is nothing. I'll create a page here again, article1.html. This is first article page. This is very important again. Right now we have seen I want, whenever I click on this article 1, I want to go to the article 1 page, but right now if I type just article 1.html and let's see what happens. When I click on this, it says page not found, right? Its file is not found. Why? Because article 1 page is available inside article folder. So inside article folder there is a page called article 1. So you need to mention the relative path by saying articles slash article1.html, articles slash article1.html. Okay, let's see now. Save this, live preview, article 1. So now it says this is the first article page. So we just wanted to understand that. Now go back to this. Okay, so now we have seen a tag is used for specific links. A stands for anchor, and we have seen the example. Similarly, we can also have the image hyperlinks, which we already seen, but I will show one more example here. You can simply have the article or image tag img. So img tag, I have one image that is colorful image. So whenever I click on this image, I want to go to some location. So what we need to do, you use the anchor tag between the image. Okay, so your image element should be placed inside anchor tag. Your image element should be placed inside anchor tag. Now you say whenever you click on this image, where you want to go, right? So I'll say whenever you click on this image, I want to go to the next article page, article2.html. All right, so we go back to the homepage.html, right click, show live preview. Okay, now we have the image. If it is displaying bigger, you know how to apply the attribute like 150 pixel. And now you can see whenever I hover on the image, you see the hand symbol and click on that. So it is not working because we have not given the href. So say article slash article2. Now click on this, it will take you to the article page. So remember that you can use the anchor tags for text and for the hyperlinks, sorry, images. Next, we will use favicon. A favicon image is displayed in the browser tab just beside the title. So what is a favicon? If let's see here. So you go to any website, for a website there is a title, right? So for this website there is a title and there is a logo for that website. So this logo is called favicon. So if you go to Facebook and you use Facebook, you can see Facebook displays its own favicon. So whenever you are creating your own website and you want to display a favicon, your own icon, you can use favicon as the element, okay, by using link. So in the home page, we need to have one icon. So I have that in my downloads. So I have favicon.ico. Now you may have a question that how do I get you, where do we download this, right? So if you're building your own website, you need to create your own icons, or you can download some icons from a website for a practice purpose. So maybe I'll show you that as well. Just type favicon samples download. You can go to this site and you choose whatever the icon you want, okay, and just click on that and download it, save image as. All right, so let's see how to write that in the code. Okay, so to use that, we need to just after the title element, we will use link element. So instead of style sheet, I need to say icon. Instead of relation style sheet, I should say icon as the value, and there is href is the source. So what is the source? favicon.ico. So I'll just type favicon.ico, and you need to mention one more attribute, that is a type. So type is like image slash x icon. So now save this and see the preview. So it's better you open this page in the Chrome browser for this scenario. Demo site, home.html. Okay, so you can see now our website or our page is now displaying the icon. Okay, now let's go back to this one. So there are again some topics like colors in hyperlink. So what are these colors in hyperlink and what are these classes like link, visited, active? Let's see that. So whenever you go to your website, maybe I'll go to icon sample or sample download, right? Sample download. So if you see here, there is a color difference between this and this, right? Which means that you are already visited this site. I came to this website and I have opened this site and the color changes. That means you have already visited this website. But the same thing, if I copy this and open in a private window, so in this browser, in this new private window, I did not open any link. So when I click on this and when I go back, it is still not holding the session, right? Private browser will not hold the session. Whereas in your regular browser, it will hold the session that, oh, you have already visited this site. There is a cookie created. So if I see right now, it shows a different color. And when I hover on it, when you're placing the cursor on this, it is called hover. When I hover on it, it displays the underline. When I click on this and when I come back again, now the color is changing. So these are called hover pseudo elements, pseudo classes for a element. So for an anchor tag, there are 4 different classes: link, visited, hover, and active. So there are 4 different styles, okay, 4 different classes. So link is something that is unvisited. That means whenever a link is not visited, I need to apply some styles, okay? So let's see how we apply that. So here I'll create one more element, that is a element, article/article3.html. I'll say this as article 3. Article 3. So go back to this home page which you have already opened, refresh. So you have article 1, you have article 3, and you have the image. So right now it displays, by default it displays in the blue color. I want to display in red color whenever a site is not visited, okay? So what I will do here, I need to use again styles. So I'll simply type style as the element in the header section. So here, whenever a link, anchor tag link, a:*link is what you need to specify, and I'll say text color should be red. So now save this, go back to the page and refresh. Now you can see the color displays red because the link is not visited. Now let's say I'll open this page. Maybe I'll open this page, I'll come back. Now the color is changed because by default it is applying, if a site is visited, it applies the default style. But I want to show it as a green whenever a site is visited. Go back to this page. Like this, you can write a:visited, change color to green. Change color to green. This is just for explanation. I'm using some random colors. Go back to this page. Now see, it says that this article 1 is highlighted with the green. Why? Because we already visited this. Now go back to the page and create article 3 here. article3.html. This is article 3 h1. This is article 3. Refresh, click on this, come back. Now it is converted to green because it's already visited. Next class is when I hover on it, I want to change it as I want to increase the font size whenever you hover on it. I want to increase the font size whenever you hover on it. Or you can apply some background color. Okay, I'll use, go to home.html, hover, hover, and I'll say background color is yellow. Whenever we hover on, whenever we place the cursor on the anchor tag, the color should change it to yellow. You see, whenever I hover on that, it changes to yellow. Whenever I hover on a link element, it changes to yellow. So next, that is called hover. The final one is I just remember that. Okay, active. Okay, the next one is active. So active, I want to apply background color orange or maybe tomato. Okay, so go back to this page, refresh this. So active is something you are placing the cursor and holding it. I did not leave my cursor, I am still holding my left click on that. So when I leave it, it goes to the page. So whenever I click and hold, that's where the active styles are applied. So that is the concept of the colors in hyperlink, where we can modify based on these classes: link, visited, hover, and active. All right, so now we will understand little bit about styles. So styles are nothing but cascading style sheets. CSS, it stands for CSS stands for cascading style sheets. So why we use styles? For the presentation of web pages. Okay, for the presentation of web pages. So if you see, normally I have some headings and paragraph and it displays just black and white color. But when I apply some styles, it displays a little bit beautiful, right? So maybe right now this is not that beautiful. We will be applying more styles, but you can see that you are applying some different colors and background styles. So styles are classified into three types: inline styles, internal styles, and external styles. So what are inline style? Inline style is nothing but you apply the style within an element in the opening tag or start tag. So you can see h1 is the opening tag here and close tag we have here. Inside opening tag, we are using one attribute called style, and the value is color:blue, color:blue. So when you apply some style inside an element, that is called inline. Okay, we will see that example now. So I'll just close all these. I'll just keep it only one, home.html. So right now I have one heading. I have one heading. So for this heading, I want to apply text color as red. So I need to use style as the attribute. So whenever you use that attribute, it is giving some suggestions. You want to apply background color or you want to apply some text color. I'll say text color. To apply text color, we need to use color as a value. Okay, and now you can choose your own color. I'll choose tomato color. Okay, save this, go back to the page, refresh. You can see this is the home page which is displaying. In the tomato color. However, if I'm going to use, maybe I'll use some paragraph. This is para 1, and at the bottom I'll use one more paragraph. This is para 2. For paragraph, I want to apply blue color, color colon blue. Refresh. You can see it is applied, but it is not applied for the other element. So inline style will only apply for that particular element. Okay. So if I want to apply for both the elements, I need to copy these and paste, which is not a good use case. Okay. So what are the drawbacks of using inline style? Adding CSS rules to every element is time consuming. Let's say in your project you have 10 paragraphs or 20 paragraphs, right? You cannot add styles for every paragraph. It is time consuming. It affects your page size and download time. This is very important. So when you keep adding your values for every element, your website size will increase. So the users who are opening your website, if it is taking long time, they don't prefer your website, they don't visit your site. Okay, that's the reason we don't use the inline styles. So then we will use internal style. So internal styles are used by using style element inside a head section. So you can see here one example. There is a head element and there is a style element. So inside head, I'm using style and I'm using the element properties. So let's see that example right now. Okay, I'll just okay, I'll take this out. So we have just seen that with the linked styles. So similarly, you can use for a head or for a paragraph, for a P element, I want color to be blue. And if you scroll down and you use multiple paragraph, like this is para 3, this is para 4, like that, and go back to the page, refresh, you can see it is applying for every paragraph. And you can with this you can actually apply multiple styles easily, right? I want to apply some background color as yellow. It applies for every paragraph, you see. And let's go back to this. Again, there are some drawbacks of using internal styles. Using this style for multiple pages is time consuming, as you need to put CSS rules to every page. If you're creating one page, it is okay. When you have multiple web pages, right? So a website may have one page or multiple pages. So whenever you have multiple web pages, we don't use internal styles. We use external style sheet. Okay, so let's see that with an example. So home.html, I have h1 as, maybe I'll take this out. I'll go here, h1, I'll use color colon red. I applied inside the home.html, and if I go back here, it is showing fine. And maybe I want to place it in center, text align center. So you refresh, it will place in center. Now if I go back to the other page, like article 1, in article 1 I have, this is the first page. Let me open that page, article 1. So the styles are not applied to this. So right now I have three HTML pages, three articles I have. I want to apply the styles for every page. So for that, what you are going to use, I'm going to use my styles. You can give your own name, my styles dot css. Now you are going to write that styles here. So whenever you use dot css, you no need to write the style element. If you see here, you are using style element, HTML element, but whereas in CSS file, you don't, you no need to write any style element. Okay, so I say color colon red, text align center. So I have created a simple style.css file. Go back to the home.html. Now, since I have the styles already in the CSS, I will take this out, h1. Okay, so here I'll use link as the element, link. So you need to specify my styles href equal to my styles dot css. So my styles.css, it is not recognizing because it is inside the articles project. So for that, you need to say articles slash my styles.css. Save this, go back to the page and see in the h1 we are getting, yes, in the home page you are getting, but in the article page we are still not getting because you did not include this link element. Go back to every page and update it. But for article page, you should not specify article slash because the styles is already available inside this folder. When we work on a real project, we will create a separate folder for styles. Okay. Take out this. All right, save this, go back to the page, refresh. Okay, you can see that in article 1 it is working fine. Then go back to the article 2, yes, it is working fine. Then go back to the article 3, this is working fine. So tomorrow if your company is saying that, hey, can you change the heading to blue color, you no need to update in all 4 pages. You simply go to the styles and just change it to blue and save it and go back to the page and see if it is updating. Yes. Okay, so it is updating in home everywhere. So every client or every company, they will use external style sheets. So external style sheet is used to define the style for multiple HTML pages, create a .css file, include the link tag wherever we need it. Okay, so you see my styles.css, you are using styles, okay, and use that in a HTML page. All right, now let's see. Next, we will see images. Images, we will understand some important topics. A website is incomplete without the images. Yes, because if you go to any website, you will see a lot of images, and imagine if you don't have any images, customers, they don't interact a lot. Okay, so to insert an image in a web page, we will be using img as a tag. You can insert images of different formats. So what are the formats we will see now? So whenever you have an image like right now we have seen one example with JPEG. Like that, we have multiple formats like JPEG, GIF, PNG, SVG, WebP, and BMP. So whenever you are using some images, you need to make sure that, okay, what type of format it is. Because when you use some SVG images, it may increase your website size, okay, or a web page size. So let me show you that examples. So go here to the Chrome and type just images, and now you will see maybe click on the images icon here. You will see a lot of images right from the Google. Now if you right click somewhere here or anywhere and click on inspect, and you see a different tabs here, console, sources, network. Click on a network tab and again click on refresh now. Okay, so what type of images it is displaying, you can see the type options here. So there is a PNG, there is a GIF, there is a PNG, again there is a JPEG, like that. So you can see a GIF file is something which has some animations, and PNG file, if you want to use this PNG, you can double click. So this is the PNG file. Okay, so now let's see one example on the images. Uh, okay, so if I want to use this image, click on this. Okay, now I'll use this image, right click, inspect. So there are two ways to use these images. You can see I click on this and click on right click and save image as. So in your project folder, website, demo site, I'll save this as tree image. Okay, once after downloading that, let's go to Visual Code. So here where we are on the home page, we can insert one image. Okay, right now you can see there is a tree image. Now you can see the extension as WebP. Now what we will do, we can create a folder whenever you are working on a project. Click on better to create a folder because we are having lot of images. So click on this folder, images, and now we can see there is a images folder. Drag and drop this each image into the images folder. So next we have Favicon, drag and drop to images. Next we have colorful image, drag and drop that as well. Okay, so now you can see all the images are available inside images folder. So in a home page, let's scroll down. So we have this, let's delete this article 2. Okay, and just copy this as article 2, and this also article 2. Okay, so now we have 3 anchor tags. So on top of heading 1, I want to place one image which is img src. Right now we have the image inside images folder, so we need to say images slash tree image dot webp tree image. All right, save this and let's open this page now. home.html. okay, so we have the image available now. So let's update some height and width to this image. Height just maybe 200 pixel. Okay, refresh. Okay, we have the image. So few minutes back we have seen this image from where we have download. So let's go back there. All right, so right now whenever you are using some images inside your folder, whenever you are using images from your project folder, they are called relative images or relative path. So I want to write some documentation here by using comment. So relative image, this is the relative image. So I want to comment this. I want to comment this as well. Now let's use another one, absolute link. So I'll use image src. So instead of giving the asset name from our folder, we can go back to this where there is a CDN by some company, right? So I can just copy this path, absolute path, copy this path, and then go back to your code and update it, and just mention some alt tag, tree image. So whenever you are using a full URL with a HTTPS, it is called absolute URL. Absolute URL. Save this. Now go back to this page. Refresh. So the image is coming from the different domain. So right click and inspect, network tab, or you can go to elements. You see this is coming from a CDN. So if it is a different company, if they delete this from their website, if they delete this image from their website, or if they modify this name, it may not work in our website. Okay. Alright, so that's more about images formats and how to use image absolute and relative. So now let's learn some important topic, which is image maps. What is image maps? When you want several hyperlinks to be included on one image, use image mapping technique. So image map can be used to divide an image into multiple hyperlinks by specifying the coordinates. And then we use area and map elements, which means if you go back to this example, we know that we can have a link, right? For example, if I click on this image, if I'm clicking on this image, I want to go to some page, that we can do. But in a single image, I want to add multiple links. So let's see one example here. So you can see all together there is a red, orange and blue, green. This is a single image. Right now if I want to click on this, I want to go to a different website. If I click on this, I want to go to comments page. So for a single image, if you want to add multiple links, then we use image map. So for an image map, we need to use some names here, use map, and then we use some area tags. Okay, we use some area tags, and we need to mention some coordinates. So say example, this is one image. So from left it is 0 and the width is 400. So from left it is 400 width and the height is 400. So you need to find the dimensions of the image to use this image map technique. Okay, so let's see one live example. So what I wanted to do, let me download one image called keyboard and mouse. Okay, and here maybe go to images. Let's use one image where we have the keyboard and mouse. So I'll go with let's see one image. Okay, I'll choose this image and just right click, save image as, and we have our folder here inside demo sites. I'll save it here. So let's go back to the project. Okay, we have the keyboard and mouse image. Just use this image inside the images folder, move it. So we have the image and let's name it nicely, keyboard and mouse, simple name. Keyboard hyphen mouse is the image. So we have one image inside images folder. Okay, so let's use that images folder here. Now let's see one example. So let me create a page here called image map.html and generate this image map example. So we know how to insert an image, img, and if you want to add a link, you can use the anchor tag, and inside anchor tag you can use img. And inside images I have an image called keyboard hyphen mouse, so I'll use that image, keyboard hyphen mouse, sorry, images slash keyboard hyphen mouse. All right, save this, and I can give keyboard.html. Now go back to the page. So this is keyboard.html, no, image map.html, image map.html. All right, now we have the image. I'll just apply some styles to for the image element, that is border 2 pixel solid red. Okay, maybe I'll apply 1 pixel, refresh. So you can see a border applied. Now let's see the dimensions, right? So it is, the image is starting from top, which is 0, and from left side it is starting from 0. Now click on the image, it is going to keyboard page, and even on a mouse you click on it, it goes to the keyboard page. So what I wanted to do for this image, if I click on mouse, I need to go to a different page, and if I want to go to keyboard page, I will click on keyboard. So for that we will be using image map technique. Okay, so you can delete this entire thing or comment it out. So how to comment? Once again, just select the content in the keyboard, show keyboard, just use control and slash. Okay, and now we will use img tag, and we use a map element. So what is a map? Map is, inside map we will create an area. We'll create one more area for mouse. One is for keyboard and one is for mouse. I'll just give some name here, alt text keyboard, and this is for mouse. And here you need to create the name of the map. So you can see there is an attribute called name. So what I'll do, I'll say keyboard mouse map. So this keyboard mouse as a name, you need to map it with your image element by using use map, and use here as hash. Okay, so what I did, I created an image element and created a map. So area 1 stands for from here to here, from left, let's say what is the dimension of this, right? Just right click and inspect and resize the browser. You can see on the top it says somewhere 1024, 1018 is my width of the image right now, somewhere 1020. So I want to create first map until here, and the second area until here. Area 1 for keyboard, area 2 for mouse. Okay, all right. So what is the area 1? Area 1 is a rectangle. It starts from left side 0, starts from left side 0, top 0, from here to this end. So let's go back here. So it starts from coordinates 0, 0, which is fine. You need to also mention shape. What is the shape we are going to create? There are 4 different shapes, like circle, poly, rectangle, like that. So I'm going to use rectangle shape. So 0, 0 is the starting point, and where is the end point? From top it is 800 and something, right? Sorry, from left I want to take from here to here, what is the distance? So it is 860, 860. You can see on the top it is you can see here it is highlighting, right? So here I'll see something around 860. Okay, so I'll go back here, I'll give the third coordinate 860, and then from top to bottom, what is the distance? That is 500, because the image itself is 353. So you can give, yeah, so it is 353. I'll give the dimension as 3 comma 5 comma 3, sorry, 353. Now let's get the coordinates for the mouse. Okay, let's get the coordinates for the mouse. So where is the mouse starting from? The mouse starts from left side 861. So after keyboard, 861 is the left side one, 861, and from top it is still 0. And then we need to get the from the left side to the right ending, so that is something around 1002. So that is 1002, and from top again it is same thing, 353. Okay, save this. Now you need to give the href, that is keyboard.html, mouse.html. Save this, go back to the page and refresh. Okay, you did not give in the source, so why it is a source? Images slash keyboard mouse.png. Okay, refresh. All right, so you can see when I click on this, it's go to keyboard page. When I click on this, it goes to mouse page. So just to make sure you have created keyboard.html page, I have created mouse.html page. So if I refresh again, when you can see from left it is 00 and until here. So whenever I change from here to here, the link is changing. Okay, keyboard and mouse, keyboard and mouse. Okay, so that's more about image map. Now let's understand block elements. What are block elements? You can see many HTML elements can be placed in one block using div tag. We will see that. Style for entire block can be specified using a style attribute in the div. So what it is saying is, when you are creating a web page, you have multiple lines of content, right? So for example, you go to this Fox News. So here, give me a second. So right now you can see, I can say that, okay, this is one block, right? Because it contains images, or maybe I'll go to one more site. Okay, you can see multiple elements combined to form a block. So right now there is a left block that has some links, and there is another block on the top where it contains a navigation, and there is another block where it contains headings, some buttons, some text. So we want to use all elements inside a block. That's where we use block elements like div, and every block element will consider 100% width. Okay, we'll see that. Sorry, so you can see there are all these are block elements like address, article, aside, block code, canvas, dd, etc. And there are other block elements as well. We have seen HR, horizontal rule, we have seen. We will slowly learn everything, but a block element generally we use to place some content inside. You have seen today like address element, right? So all your zip code, city, state, everything you are considering into different lines, and you are placing under address element. So let's see one example here and create a new page called myplace.html HTML template. So maybe I'll call it as HYD Hyderabad place. Okay, so here most commonly used block element is div. Okay, so right now div, what I will do, I'll create some anchor tags, multiple anchor tags. Okay, uh here how many links I have? 1 2 3 4 5, maybe this one, right? So I'll use browse, search, quiz, games, like some links. Okay, browse, anchor tag, this is search, maybe what is the other one, games and quiz. Okay, I'll say quiz, I'll say games, something. Okay, right now no need to configure links, I'll just use hash, just like dummy links, it will not go anywhere. Okay, now there is a block element and let's see what happens if I see this page. What is the page name? The myplace.html. Okay, so you can see that there are 4 elements available. Perfect. Next I'll create another block like div. And one thing to know about div, which is a block element, every block element will consider 100% width. Okay, so say for example I'll just comment this for a minute and I'll just use some heading which is h1. I'll say welcome to city, save this. Where is the page? Okay, every block element will contain 100% width. So for example, to understand that, I'll say div, not div, style element. Inside style I'll use div. I'll apply some styles for div, which is background color yellow or maybe some gray color. Refresh. So what is happening now? The width of a div block, even the content is from here to here, the block element will take 100% width of your browser. Okay, so all the block elements will take 100% width. Okay, why anchor tags are not taking 100%? Because there are other inline elements that we will see shortly. All right, save this, go back and refresh. Okay, so there is a block. Inside this block I have 4 different links, and you can apply some text color as white, color white. Okay, coming back to here, so we have created one div block, and inside this another div block I will consider another one like left block. Okay, this is a left block, and what we have here, introduction, contact us, some links. Okay, I'll just add 2 links for now, and then I have another div block which is the main body, like a paragraph or h2, hyd city para Lorem. Okay, what is happening now? We have created three div blocks, div 1, div 2, div 3. Why I have given this? Because each block I want to maintain some different styles. For example, consider this is the first block and this is the second block. So for this block I want to apply some style saying width is only 20%. Width is only 20%. And also the background color I want to give it as yellow. Now let's save this and apply the same thing to the other block, which is the third one. I'll consider this as 80% and this is some blue, light blue or some. Okay. Okay, so you can see that I applied width 20%, background yellow, float left, and you can maybe mention height as 500 pixel. Same thing here, I have given width, background color, and float left, and I'll give one more property height. I just because I still did not explain the class versus name, that's the reason I'm using styles in the inline. Now save this, go back to the page, refresh. You can see now the first block is taking 100%. That is some set of elements you are placing inside a single div element, which is a block, and you are applying styles to that div block. Similarly, there is another left section, which is this one, the second div block. You are placing some set of elements, maybe some paragraph. Okay, and save this, go back to the page, refresh. So some paragraphs, maybe paragraph you want to apply white color, black, some black color, p color colon black. Okay, you can see now on the left you are placing some set of elements inside one block and you are applying some styles to that block. What is that block here? This is the second block and you can see there are styles applied here. But if I cannot apply the same styles for each block, that's the reason these particular styles I took 20% width for this particular block and 80% width for this particular block. So now I can write some comments here like first block for header, and similarly you can write second block for left navigation, and then third block for main content. Now you can see this is how we use block elements. And you may have a question, what is this float colon left? So that means if I don't write this float left, let's see what happens. As we discuss, every block is a every div is a block element which contains 100% width. But you have said that, okay, second block I only need 20%. Also remember, every block element will start in a new line. So this is even consider this div is in second line, right click, inspect. So you can see there are three div blocks. This is the second one. Even though this div is used only 20%, the another div will always start in a new line. So what I wanted to do, I want to continue this block if I have space here. So that's the reason I have mentioned float as left. So it always continues from this previous element. Okay. So these are all block elements. We will see one by one. We also covered address, block code, and we also covered footer element h1 to h6. Even headings, this is some question you might be getting in some exams. What are block elements? Is h1 a block or a inline element? Okay, so these are basically a block elements, and this is a continuation. We have seen hr, we have seen uh, the header. Okay, but we'll cover all these topics again. Next, inline elements. An inline element does not start on a new line. Okay, it takes the width as required for the content. So block elements always take 100% width, whereas inline will take the width as required. So say for example, I'll create after the third block, I'll use from anchor tag. Anchor tag is a inline element. So I'll say hello world is one link. Go back to this page. You can see hello world, it is only taking here. And if I write one more anchor tag, second link, it continues in the same line. It continues in the same line. So what are the different types of inline elements? So you can see the first one we have just seen. A tag is a inline element. We have also seen abbreviation, and we have seen the bold element and break element, and we have seen image. Images are also inline elements. That means if you are using 3 images tags, it will continue in a same line. So there are a lot we will cover. We have seen map element, we have seen small element, but we will cover all this shortly. All right, next topic is about tables. Tables are very important in web development. So tables are used to arrange the data in an orderly manner. You can see one example on the left side. There is an employee ID column and there is an employee name column. So when there is a row and column representation, we consider it as a table. So let's see in real life how we use this cricket, right? Like top cricket score, and here there are some links. Okay, here you can see some example where large amount of content we are displaying in a row and column. Okay, so this is the best example. So let's see how to create a table in a HTML. To represent the data in the form of rows and columns, we use tables, yes, and we use the table as a new element to create a table. If you want 5 tables, you need to use 5 different 5 table elements, and th is represents the table header. So for example, you can see employee ID is one heading that where we use th, and tr represents a row. So this is one row, this is second row, this is third row, this is the fourth row. So for each row we need to use tr as an element. td is used to specify the table data. So wherever you see this 101 or this data, like 101 is one data, tom is one data. So for each row, one column data, it represented by td. Okay, so let's see one example now. So I'll just create one page, or you can use the previous example, myplace.html. So here inside this block, I'll create a table, table table, and for a table I first want to create one row. That row represents some headings like th. How many headings I need? I need 3 headings. Let's say tr is one row. In a single row I need 3 headings. One is employee ID, EID, and the another heading is employee name, and another heading is th, employee address, address. Okay, you can use capital letters or small letters. Now one row is completed. So you can see this example. This is one row is completed. Now I need to write some data in the second row. So for that I'll use another row tr, and we need to use td for the column data. So first one, employee ID is 101, then employee name again td is Tom, again td. I'll use address like LA or Los Angeles. Okay, so one row is completed. I'll copy this and I'll create another row which is 102 Wilson, and then I'll say San Jose. All right, save this and let's open this page. Okay, so you can see a table is available now. Oh, you may get a question, how come this is displaying very small, or why there is no borders? Yes, by default there is no border applied to the table. We need to apply some styles. How to apply the styles? Right now let's use the style element, table. For each heading and for each data I want to apply some styles like border 2 pixel, solid red. Save this, go back to the page, refresh. Okay, something is missing. Table row, oh come on, tr, come on, th. Okay, so now we can see some styles applied. This is a we can increase the width by saying width as 50%. Okay, now you can see employee ID, employee name, and employee address. So if I want to write one more row, what I need to do, I need to create one more tr. So I'll create tr, and in a row you want three columns, three column data. So that's why I'm writing td, td, td. So here I'll use 103, 104. Sorry, this is name of the employee, Brian, and address is Santa Monica. Okay, save this. Okay, so you can see now since I have applied 50% width, it is coming in the next line. Maybe I okay, so let's see the style here. I created for table headings and td I have used some border, but for entire table I want width as 100%. So I just made some change. So go back here and you can see the entire table is 100% width, and we have some headings and 3 rows. Now let's understand something about row span and column span. If I want to combine some rows, we use something called as row span, and if I want to combine some columns, I use column span. So let's see one example. So let's say for Wilson and Brian, the location is same like San Jose and San Jose. So I want to merge these two rows. So what I'll do, I'll take this one out. This is the third row. Okay, so what I'll do here, I'll simply say row span equal to 2. Save this and go back to the page. Okay, now you can see that our rows, the Wilson row and Brian row, they are getting merged, and it is displaying as a single cell. Likewise, if you want to merge columns, we can use column span. So let's see that. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this and comment it. Okay, instead of row span, take this one out. Here maybe keep it same. Okay, now I want to use column spans. So I want to all these columns, right, like a TD column, I want to maybe this entire thing, right? So I'll take this out, TD, I'll say not available, TD column span equal to 3. I want to merge all 3 columns. Okay, in a single row I want to merge all 3 columns. Go back to the page, refresh. So you can see that all 3 columns, employee ID, employee name and employee address, we are merging and we are placing only single content. So that is column span. So if you want to merge all 3 columns, you use col span, and if you want to merge rows, we will be using row span.